Do you know how much money Big Pharma actually spends on propaganda on our news media? We'll get to this chart in just a second, because it explains why it's taken so long for regular people to wake up to what is going on here. But one of the counties here in Idaho just voted to stop funding COVID-19 vaccines, and they're no longer offering them. But it was close. It was a 4-3 vote. Thanks to people like Dr. Tribble making basic arguments like, we are here to protect public. And studies like this have been coming out for a long time now, showing that the vaccine decimates our natural immune responses, leaving especially young people open to all kinds of severe diseases that they otherwise would never, ever get. Study finds 1.7 million vaccinated kids now have severe heart defects. These are disability claims in the civilian labor force over the age of 16, taken from official data points. Clear downtrend until the vaccines are introduced. And then what the hell is this? Not only are we disabling American healthy workers, but we're also paying public money to now support them because they can't support themselves. That's on top of us already spending more than any other nation and receiving a lower life expectancy on average than any other developed nation by a large margin. So, like always, follow the money. Who are the top 5 primetime news advertisers by network? Well, Pfizer's not actually listed anywhere, right? But hold on, read a little closer. Dupixent, Humira, Ibrance, Eliquis. What are those? Those sound like the names of drugs, right? That's because they are. And when you look up who owns all of those drugs, you're like, oh, Pfizer owns both Eliquis, that blue one, and Xeljanz, that blue one, and Ibrance, that red one. In fact, when you overlay all of these pieces of these bars that are actually just Big Pharma hiding behind the names of their drugs, this is what the top spenders on the biggest media actually looks like. CBS's entire top 5 advertisers are Big Pharma. More than half of MSNBC and NBC's top advertising spenders are Big Pharma. And Fox News is just the My Pillow guy. I don't is he laundering money? Is there a story there that I should be digging into? Then you dig into how Big Pharma influences political campaigns. And in the 2020 election cycle, 72 senators and 302 members of the House cashed a check from the pharmaceutical industry. That represents more than 2/3 of Congress. And they're not just funding federal Congress. Pfizer wrote checks to 1,048 individual candidates in state legislative races as well. In this article, if you look up this title and maybe that author, these keywords, you'll find these interactive maps where you can click on the different pharmaceutical companies and you can see how much money they've donated and to exactly who and what races they've donated money. Pfizer, $1.3 billion. Novo Nordisk, $500 million. AstraZeneca, $500 million. Merck, $888 million. Amgen, $1.2 billion. And that's if you round down. Since 2011, healthcare and pharma digital ad spending is up almost 2,000%. In just Q1 of 2023, Big Pharma in total spent $2.1 billion on advertising on cable and broadcast news. And that's not even including the money they're giving to people like Google and Facebook, etc., to censor all of us talking about what we all know is true. They're making money off of killing us and making us sick, and then they're spending money to keep us from talking about it. And so today I'm going to be talking about it at Old State Saloon with Dr. Tribble, a leader in the medical freedom movement. He's up here in Idaho doing the Lord's work. We'll be streaming it live on here on X as well as across Rumble, I would assume, and it'll be out later for everyone to watch after the fact too. What happened during COVID was one of the largest crimes against humanity in our lifetimes, probably the largest in our lifetimes, and we are still waiting on a reckoning, and we don't get that if we stop talking about it. And if you got tricked into taking that shot, it's okay to wake up now. It's never too late to demand justice. Because all of us that didn't get it, that were told we were going to die and get sick and ruin the world, we're doing just fine. We are so okay. We are so happy that we did not get that thing. But what's done is done. And now it's time to make America healthy again. Oh yeah, and it's time for Nuremberg 2.0.